Hello, it's me again, der Bayer, and today we are building a successor to the Futurismo, our high-end GT car, designed in the mid-60s, released in the late 60s, and we also have built a Group 5 racing version from it, which currently is selling 2 pieces per month, which means probably that 2 pieces per month are crashed because it's pretty much uncontrollable with a huge turbocharged V8. But the company has grown up a bit in the meantime, and we really have to make sure that we are really catering to those high-end wealthy customers. So a few days ago I tried to build together with you in a design live stream the successor, the Boreale, and somehow we failed. While it didn't look too bad, it looked quite a bit Japanese. So it didn't really fit the overall kind of weird Italian, maybe a little bit French design style that we got. So off camera I had to spend a little bit more time, and this is the second iteration that I came up with. Completely replaced the roof. I'm trying out a new front end, but still it was a little bit too Japanese in the front, also very 90s in the front, while the rear was properly 80s. So I got your feedback, and now the third iteration. This is it. This will be the design, and I'm really happy with it, and I think it's a lot more 80s, looks a bit more classic, a bit more European. It's still kind of weird with this station wagon look, but I like it, and I think that's exactly what I want to do. So let's head right into it and make it an actual car. The company is doing excellent, and as some of you pointed out, we have a credit score of A. And it has been a long time since we have seen this letter up there. I don't know, maybe even since the very beginning, the first time. So we have a lot of money in the bank. We are currently spending a good chunk also on research, maybe 10%. We can crank that up a notch in the future, I think. So currently the Freccia is selling like hotcake, and we already have the facelift with a Group B rally version in the pipeline. So this will be really good and further push us along. So we can spend a little bit of time and money on a GT car, which doesn't need to be the cash cow. Let's just make it into something really nice and really high-end to further push our prestige rating, which is pretty good already. So let's make a new car project and see how we can copy the design over. I select GT Premium here, which is within my awareness 137 cars worldwide. Some of them 9 cars also in Helvetia, which I need to further unlock because there are actually plenty there. And I finally want to sell something in Helvetia. So safety rating of 35, there you see it, which will also carry on well into the 90s. So that's our safety target, and let's go for that. So the car body I want to use is quite a large one. It's this 2.8 meter wheelbase, and as you see, it's looking quite modern. So we are designing now in 1980. It will probably be released around 1985. Yeah, it was quite a challenge to transform this into something that still is kind of accurate for the 80s. So again, standard Cisalpina. This will not be mass production again. Space frame, aluminium, steel. Let's see if this will be good enough for 35 safety. If not, we have to go for monocoque, and I really cannot afford that. There's no other option to increase safety from the base chassis level. But a big lump of engine in front also will make it safer, because it will just push away any opponent that we have in a collision. So front engine it is. And from a suspension point of view, of course, double wishbone all around. And we already have 2 tech pool here, 2.9 actually, so we can spend a little bit to reduce our material costs and production units, while still increasing all of the stats basically, mostly drivability, comfort, and so on. So for the engine, I was thinking it is time to finally go for V12. The first V12 in Cisalpina's history will be developed for this car. And Cisalpina has always been known for quite lightweight cars, so let's not go too overboard. I'd say maybe 4 liters as a family size. It is very big for Cisalpina levels, so let's try not to get any bigger and make it into somewhat a lazy V12, very comfortable, doesn't need to be high power. So I'm also not yet sure if we choose heavy aluminium or light aluminium. We have to check the power limit in the end, but let's turn it down now to 4 liters. And proper twin cam for valve, ready for the future, ready for any emissions regulations that we will have. Again, here I use half of my tech pool that I have. For the same reasons, saving money while getting upgraded stats. And as we are not building this engine in-house, again manufactured by outside contractors, let's use forged components. We will definitely need them. For now I choose light. We will see if they are good enough. And maybe for the pistons, hyper-eutectic cars because they are quiet and save some emissions. I'm just building something together that will work. So a twin throttle MPFI, and probably for this time also first time I think standard manifold. Very comfortable, very quiet. So this will be very civilized. But of course we still have to save weight, so no cast headers, but tubular headers. And dual exhaust, it just doesn't make sense to have a single exhaust on a V12. 3-way catalytic converter, straight through, reverse flow. Not going for all quiet here, but a reasonably quiet setup. And currently we have 244 horsepower. I think that's about right. 250 to 300 is what I was aiming for the base model. Maybe we can create a Cinghiale version, an all-wheel drive with a little bit more power. But let's first start with our standard version and see what is limiting us. So currently RPM is not a problem. 6.9 is definitely enough. We can even turn down the cam a little bit. And the stiffness to make more low-end torque. And then see where we currently are. Check our fuel. 91 is pretty good. 95 is coming. But I think for the entry-level version, let's choose something where the fuel is widely available. And that everybody who has the money, of course, can drive. Currently the exhaust is limiting a little bit. So let's make it bigger. So the yellow line and the headers are too large. Let's move the green line up to align them with the rest so that we are around 100% at 6000 RPM. Then we have a pretty decent setup. We don't need to optimize it too much. I can spend a little bit though on the fuel system quality to give us more reliability. And also it will help with emissions, of course. The rest is pretty good, I think. Just, of course, compression can be turned up quite a bit. We're getting into the yellow. Well, it's quite high with 11.5. But I think it's alright. Still everything is good, so let's see what we are making. 263 horsepower. Very nice flat torque curve. Performance, we could get a bump here, but it's smoother like this. Also cast manifold would make it even smoother, but a little bit more power. It's still a sports car. I think it's fine. So let's see where we get with this. And now for those who do not know, so I have already designed the car, but now as I wanted to show the process of importing a previously designed car into Campaign, let's do that. And therefore you can go to the advanced trim settings. And if you have a car, for example, in Sandbox, you can copy fixtures to the clipboard and basically paste it into a text file, then save the text file, then do the same for paint into a separate text file, copy the advanced trim, save it into a separate text file, copy the morphs, save it into a separate text file, and then we can open up those text files again when we are in Campaign and copy paste. So I start with the morphs, copy what's in the text file, paste the morphs. So this is how the body was morphed. Then I paste advanced trim. Basically just had visibility here, was now updated, and a smaller chassis tunnel. Didn't change anything else in advanced trim. Then I paste fixtures. All of them. This is now the big step. This is where the magic happens. Let it settle. And the last step is the paint. Copy paint. Paste paint, and then we get updated paint and textures. And there we are. Everything has settled. And let me select the proper rims again. Those were the rims. Of course the tire size and wheel offset does not match yet. I have to check that, but let's go over the design and see what I updated. So basically what I did compared to the first iteration was a completely custom roof. This is from the custom roof mod. Basically these black icons here if you subscribe to my mod collection. This is the American supercar roof actually. very boxy, and we get rid of that very roundish roofline. Then the rear part is the matching super rear, but shortened, so I scaled it down, and then I get some weird issues here which I cannot resolve, of course, but I couldn't make the rear any longer while still maintaining that roofline that I wanted. And I also got a nice gap here which I needed to fill with different parts. Not perfect, but it looks fine from the distance. So this is the major change here. Then of course a third brake light, because in America, or Gasmia in the mid 80s, they demanded third brake lights. So we want to be ready for that. I changed the surrounding trim from plastic to chrome. I added quite boxy bumpers on top, which also make it overall more boxy. And yeah, most important change in the front. So basically the whole grille is a custom cutout made from circles and rectangles. I lined it with bumper bars or trim strips, many different pieces. I added a bumper bars here for this nice contour that we get here for the grille. Added the 2 round headlights, modified the lower bumper, added the same bumper as in the rear here to make it boxy in the front. And some molding here on the bonnet, few vents, and that's basically it. Coming from the design live stream to this was another 4 hours of trying out different things. So the other 2 iterations took 2 hours each. Just so that you know that it's not easy, even for me that I have quite some experience. It's not easy to get what you really want, but now I must say I'm really happy. Also added a little bit more detailed interior than usually, with nice brown leather, a little bit of radio and other stuff, bits and pieces here and there, just to make it look nice and 80s. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. Also, yeah, GT car, I like that kind of fastback look, or some would even say shooting brake, even though it's a 2+2. And also some said there's no way people can fit in the rear. Yeah, I think they can fit. Kids at least can fit, so it's a 2+2, not a 4-seater. And there's enough space here in the front. These doors are massive. We can take a look. So there's enough space here. Even though, yeah, this is not sitting where it should be, but there's really enough space. Okay, so I hope you like it as well. Let's keep this as it is and move on. So yeah, for the base version we use rear-wheel drive, of course manual. It's a driver's car. And then good helical limited slip diff. We already have prototyped that basically with our new Group B rally car. And you could say for drivability and comfort, let's go for medium compound tires. For driving it on track, I would actually go for sport. But maybe for this entry-level version, let's use this. And use a little bit of stagger. 235, 255. And aluminium rims, no magnesiums for this one. For the brakes, let's go for vented all around. Let's try 200s first and 260s. Let's see how it works. And I'd say semi-clad is alright. We don't want supercar full clad, but still it's a Grand Tourer, it should be fast. So let's make it efficient. And high-end GT might mean handmade. We can check if we can do a luxury version. So if we do a Cinghiale, this might be the really high-end. And maybe this one is just this luxury. Of course, also we need to check which is better here. For a sportiness point of view, it's definitely manual rack and pinion, but maybe it's heavy enough, especially with the lumpy V12 on the front, that we want to have some steering support. Also, I need to check the engine again for the heavy aluminium versus light aluminium. Advanced 80s safety. Standard stuff for the springs. Definitely not hydropneumatic, so just standard stuff. Normal preset for now, and see where we are. So definitely green already in GT. So maybe this is the GT and the Cinghiale then is the GT Premium. We take a look at the budgets. There's a huge difference. so it makes sense not to have this handmade, but the GT Premium is handmade. Yeah, but let's check out our engine, and we see that our pistons are basically the power limit. We get a little bit more reliability here, but I think for this version it's alright like this. They're just slightly above the power limit. So aluminum heavy doesn't give us anything more, so let's not do that. We currently see no stress here, so I don't know. I cannot really remember what this is. Maybe it's from the gearbox or something. So let's also tune it properly long so that we are not running too high RPM at high speed. And yeah, currently drivability is not yet there. We need to check what's the issue. But in 6.7 seconds from 0 to 100. 1,300 kilos is alright. Safety 40. God, this will last forever. This is a really safe car. And to be honest, I think we need to go for sports compound here already. It's gained so much drivability and sportiness. Loses a bit of comfort, but I think it's worth it. And then yeah, I still need to set up brakes properly. Still got some brake fade, so we'll work on that. We can also use some brake airflow, of course. And we need to check emissions. So I also go for quite some wing angle. We just have two lips. Basically this is a lip, and in the rear there's a spoiler. So this part here, 110% for now. We get a reliability boost on the gearbox, which is good. 5.9 seconds from 0 to 100, and that's the cheap version. It's excellent. 125 after fixing the brakes, no fade. We can push it a little bit more with quality here. And I think I want to do that. Maybe not on this, maybe not on the cheap version. And then let's check our steering support. Gain drivability and comfort, but sportiness goes down and it's actually worse, so let's stick with the manual steering, which also fits the brand a lot better. Let's check our ride height. Looks about right. We can still fix a little bit our sway bars. Want to have it less oversteery. And I think this is a pretty good setup now. 140 in the GT market. 2 plus 2. Everything's alright, I would say. Even just slightly worse if you choose sports. But I want to have a better distinction between our models. So let's go for luxury. Just for a little bit of extra comfort. Alright, so I think this one is pretty good already. The entry-level version into our luxury world. And then let's clone it and make another version, and this is the Cinghiale. So first thing, of course, we want to do is to bring back the color. The black of the original Montone. There it is. And then add at least a badge. Alright, and then let's make it a little bit more aggressive. Just a few tiny touches. So basically I just make the side vents a bit larger. Like this. And this one also gets the hood scoop. And then I will rework the engine. I don't think I like the scoop. We can do something like these, just make them a little bit more in line with what's going on in the rear. So it's not an air intake, it's more an air outlet. Not very elegant, I know, but it's a brutal car. It will be a brutal car, so let's do it like this. The rest can stay the same. Will not add wings and anything. Just make it a little bit more aggressive. And yeah, don't forget to mirror the Cinghiale badge properly. There we go. And then let's make a new engine variant. I also still have to give it a proper name. I think I won't turbocharge this one. This will just be a little bit more aggressive tune. And I need to check the emissions. Very important. I may not forget that. We are running into power limit now, probably from the pistons. We need other pistons anyway. And here it's better. We can rev it to the moon. Won't do that, but a little bit more just. We have a 300 horsepower already. This could take the performance intake. Not, so I'm also going not for per cylinder. It's just a slight upgrade. And long tubes. And then we are definitely where we need to be. 323 horsepower. This is not OS 7. And now I'm concerned. Need to check what's causing the issues. But let's finish the car first before we do any emissions fine-tuning. Here we can stay almost the same. I just want to have all-wheel drive for this one. With a rear-heavy power split. Okay, like this. Yeah, looking alright. Maybe even a bit more to the front. And this will be not GT, not Super, not Hyper, GT Premium. And it will be premium if we make it handmade. Yes. But only 95 so far. Low comfort. Why is that? So if it's already complaining about comfort, we shouldn't take performance intake. It's just such a big difference here in loudness. But emissions got even worse. I have some issues here on the NOx side. We will check that out. Could go for premium fuel here. But we are making enough power. Tire wise we stay the same. Now we have all-wheel drive, it will be fine. Almost 1.4 tons. Yeah, alright here. A little bit of brake fade in the rear. It's an upgrade. Aero wise it's alright. And here we can add the quality to make it even more desirable. 110. Still low comfort. Maybe they want the hydraulic. 206, yeah. So here it really makes a difference how much comfort there is, and even if it's just 4.3 points, and even if we lose all of the sportiness, oh, do I really want to do that? Maybe I'm just below a certain threshold for comfort and I need to find it. Let's try first to go without. I can still go for quality here. And then let's see what is the problem. Or what we can do. We can definitely make it softer, but it's not improving a lot. Still complaining about low comfort, so let's check it out. The gearbox is also a big problem. So let's just see what the biggest contributors are. Steering, gearbox, tire profile, okay. Seating, yeah, passenger volume, it's quite cramped still. So the gearbox will not be affected by any gearing settings here. Advanced automatic. Oh, the comfort through the roof. 228. Oh, do I want to go down that route? But then it would also need the hydraulic steering. And then all of the sportiness is gone. But we are so good in comfort. But here it doesn't really make a difference anymore. We even lose desirability. So it's really just the gearbox. Oh, what am I doing? It's just such a huge difference. I mean, at least it's advanced and it's not the very basic one. I think I don't have a big choice. I mean, Ferrari also had some automatics in their luxury segment. It's alright. And it's another element that will further separate it from other cars and will cater to different markets. So let's do it. Emissions wise, it will not help, of course. What do we need? We definitely need a VES 7 at least. So we need to bring down the NOx. Yeah, emissions optimization is what is important. It will even improve our throttle response. And we can increase our margins here. Oh, 4.6 is pretty narrow already. I think this is not properly hooked up yet, and we are maybe exploiting it a little bit. So let's not overdo it. Just go to 5, we still have proper margins there. Okay, and that's the Cinghiale with many new things. First, all-wheel drive road car, automatic, oh no, and power steering. I can add body quality as well. Let's look at these juicy stats. We could even almost make VES 8. Yeah, but that's not necessary. We can do that later. We will have an upgrade at some point anyway. Hope I don't forget. Okay, then back to the normal Gran Turismo version. We also need to name this variant first. 2.0 V12 Stradale. I don't have a proper naming system. We will do it in the next campaign. I will do a proper German style, nice abbreviations, number codes, and then also add some emissions optimization here, 5. And then we are very green. Here we also have VES 8, so in case we just want to discontinue the Cinghiale, this would also work. Okay. Looking good. I'm just afraid of engineering. Oh, it's okay. Definitely okay. It's just expensive. So what do we want to go for? 5 years? 5 years I think is good. So that would be 60 months. These are quite expensive cars. We can sacrifice a little bit here on this end and try to learn and save $1 million or 2. 44 million. One down on the learning slider. Okay, that's looking good. And now the engine, already just in time, also for the same price basically. So we will just make it a little cheaper. And there we are, 43 million, 60 months. And now the V6 is there, the inline 4 is there, they need to continue. Question is, where do we manufacture which other stuff? Let me check that out. So I will not mess with it. I will just add a new contract. Let's keep it simple. And I call it GT so that we know it's for our, or V12. Let's call it V12. We are producing the V12s here. Contract. Could I afford a V12 engine factory? That would be so nice. I think I could afford it. Ah, this is just the plot. The plot is so cheap. But I could also... Hey, let's go for it. Let's add... Oh no. Oh no, no. The Forge Works will kill me. I want to have my own V12 factory. Let's do it. We are shoveling in the money. We need to put it somewhere. We are building both in this. They are close enough. We need proper qualified workers. It's no problem if it takes a while to source them. And there we are. 10k still per engine. So it's definitely important for the cheaper version that we are investing here and saving some money. Oh, the tooling quality. QA threshold needs to be really good. So we're saving quite a bit on tooling here and on automation. like this, this will be a really expensive project. But I think we will benefit in the long run. Engine engineering time 96? What did I change? Oh. Oh god. I took a look at the Boreale number with the 59. And of course the engine takes forever to engineer. Oh god. So another case of unreliable engines, I think. Yep. Definitely helps. And a bit more pressure. Doesn't have to be that cheap if the rest is so expensive. And then we are getting there. Okay. 60 months now for real. Let's check again what the engines cost now that we are a lot less efficient. Oh, 11k. That's alright. Because it also calculates the engine engineering, and this is now much more cheap. So let's see. In the past, I built it just in the original shed. And maybe I want to keep it that way for the Cinghiale. So the Futurismo will be thrown out. And that definitely plays the Cinghiale version there. Because this also has many flags here. Chassis choice, aluminium? No, it's the space frame. It's the wrong flag. But the handmade, of course, will cost. Engine factory is overworked already. Seems to be... Oh god. Need to build an even bigger engine factory. How many of these am I building? 73 per month is probably also on the hefty side. We bring down the efficiency. But I think I need more from the GT, basic GT version. Let's do the Cinghiale factory first. Aim for 1.5 shifts. Hopefully I can do that. We normally pay 110%. Good quality. And this one definitely has a lot of profit potential. But the quality threshold is not there. And I need a bigger engine factory. I cannot believe it. Of course the V12 takes forever to build. Some quality and then the engine factory would be fine. But I think I need at least double, if not triple the size. And we can sell. That's definitely too high of a price. Budgets in Fuinia 86. And the rest will definitely be able to afford it. Much more in the Lure. So let's aim for 100. And the Fuinians can have the cheaper version if they want. Then one shift is definitely what we can do. And that's a really nice margin that we have here. Okay, let's adjust our factory here. Maximum 1.5 shifts. Target also 1.5. And then let's see. I think I need a new small car factory for the GT. Now I'm also struggling, thinking about should we build a medium factory here. But this is also a point in time where I think we need to make a decision. Should this really be mass production? Or should we remain a small exclusive manufacturer? And I think I would rather keep it for this Let's Play on the small manufacturer side. Let's stick with the small one, and if we run into the limits, then we just crank up the prices. I don't care. We will not do any medium factories, I think. Let's see if I will redo it at some point. But for now, I think this feels right. So how many can we build? 175 per month. And there are 512. Ouch. Small 2 it is. I don't know how we should produce that many engines though. Max shifts. Let's see. 2. 110. Good quality. And here, this doesn't cost as much. Also have a high QA threshold. And then, how does this look like? Oh, we sell way too many, but the price is also too low. 35k. It's on the low side. Let's choose 40k, else I need even more, even a bigger factory. Yeah, this is looking much better. Let's keep it at this. Let's take some nice profits. And then add the farm shed again with the Cinghiale. And we need to upgrade the engine factory. This will be so expensive. Need the biggest level here. Level 3. V12 factory. Oh god. 550 people just building V12s. Finest V12s in the world. Yeah, we go in with V12s into the normal GT market. That's quite bold, I'd say. But let's do it. So I'm just checking again if everything is set up correctly. Cinghiale here. With one shift. Gran Turismo here with maximum 2 shifts. And then let's adjust the prices again because it forgot. 40k, 100k. And look at these numbers. We'll be swimming in money. But we definitely need it because currently we have 168 in the bank. And this will cost 233 in 5 years. Okay, should we risk it to not take any loan? Or should we just do 25% just to be on the very safe side? I'd say yes. And then take 5 years to repay it. This will be not a big problem. Yep, I think we're pretty good. Most expensive project I think that we had so far. Cannot remember the exact number of the Freccia, but I think it could be true. So let's sign it off. Nice, what we did here. Let's go for a little bit and see what it does to our income. It definitely might go into a negative now, but that's all right. Yeah, slightly into the negative. And they are now even ordering 5 Group B cars, rally cars per month already. Oh god, it's not even on the market. So let's let it run for a little bit more. We are losing a little bit of money, but definitely that's well within what we can afford. The big hit will come when we build the factory, but so far everything is alright. And it's now 1981. We avoid all of the taxes because we are spending so much money. And we have already 100 pre-orders of our Group B car. That's totally insane. If we can produce them quickly enough, then we shouldn't have a problem meeting the 200 cars minimum requirement that we have. So I'd say let's wait until this happens. Then we're in 1982 and Group B racing officially starts. And we need to make sure that we have the homologation model on the road. What's currently happening a little bit is that the Cuneo is suffering. So we have many vehicles here in stock, so I can turn down production a little bit. We could upgrade it as well, but currently I don't want to do it. I'd rather start working on a successor soon. Or not very soon, but maybe next episode we can do one more facelift and then start on a successor. But the Boreale also will take quite a bit of buyers away from the supercar market, even though it's a 2+2. There we are. Minimum shifts, I said 2. Let's turn it down to 1. We still have plenty in stock. Yeah, it's even increasing, so I could even turn it down further. Let's go down to half a shift just to make sure that our cars are sold. Building a little bit of stock of the Freccia now that we have sold off all of our pre-orders. So we can also turn the production down there a little bit. We need all of the people in the engine factory of the V12 anyway. Small factory. Let's go down to 1.2 for now. Maybe a little low, we will see. Our racing shed had an issue. Just higher factory refresh costs. Oh no, 19k and 8k, 27k. I think I will pay that in cash. And then we have one more month. And what do we have pre-order wise? 400 pre-orders. And we built and delivered so far none. We need to wait one more month. And we have our first GT sale of the Boreale. Already 3 months ahead, 3 years ahead of production. Let's see what we have here. Delivered 72, 3 months of production. Then we have the homologation for the Group B rally car. That's fine. So we're also back to profits again, as we have lowered our production levels quite a bit. We are still selling off one Group 5 car per month. We are still sitting on our 20 factory Group 4 cars, which we can now basically put into the trash. Or basically we could still run them in Group B, because Group 4 will transition into Group B. But we have our new Cinghiale Group B on the market very soon. So let's remove this. So I sold them off, but they still don't disappear because I still have the factory. Doesn't matter. Okay, and then we are pretty good. We are still earning a little bit of money. We're still at credit score A, even though we have a huge loan, or quite a big loan for the Boreale. But let's take these 2 cars to the track and see what they can do. Alright, there we are with the non-spicy version, Gran Turismo. Manual, rear-wheel drive. Let's go. Build off wheel spin in first gear, but it's fine in second. And understeer in the first chicane. Curbs give it oversteer, and also gas makes it snap a little bit, which is nice. It's actually quite controllable, as you can see. Probably not the fastest way, but you can definitely feel the weight. It's not the lightest car that we have produced so far. And the gearbox says hello. Yeah, really controllable in second gear. Steering is not optimal here. Had to upshift and downshift in a short succession. And I'm, killing the gearbox with my shifting here. Need to hold the pedal a bit longer. But else it's quite nice. It definitely feels like a non-race car, which is good for once. Also not as scary here in Bavarian Bend. Feels like a proper car. So growing up is the theme, I guess. Now not run wide with understeer. Really nice. Bit too much throttle there. But we're good. A downshift. It's not very precise with my driving right now, but that comes from sudden oversteer when you're not careful. I think in normal driving it's super fine if you're not pushing it to its limits. Thank you. Poor gearbox. Alright, rally driver has arrived. And what do we get? 228. Not too shabby. And before I further kill the gearbox, let's jump into the Cinghiale version. Alright, Cinghiale. Revving quite a bit higher, but probably being killed by all-wheel drive and automatic gearbox. Let's see how it goes. Alright. Oh no! The automatic gearbox is killing the RPM, but I will keep it in automatic mode. Not switch to manumatic for the true experience. it is quite a bit more understeery, as expected, with the all-wheel drive. But also so much more stable, so much easier to control. Definitely more mature than the other version. And easier also to slow down, as I don't have to shift and cannot mess up the gearbox. But I cannot tell if it's actually quicker or slower than the other one. There's definitely more power loss, of course, in the drivetrain. But let's see what we can do on the straight now. I think the normal version had around 215 kilometers an hour top speed here on the straight. Definitely approaching that territory. And actually quicker. Probably just have to lift off a bit more here in the slingshot because of the understeer. And then let's try not to mess it up here into Bavarian Bend. A bit too quick for the second apex. But we are good, we survived. Now hard braking. Try not to lock it up. Just a little bit, but still on time here. And let's go to the final section. Not too late there, just a little bit maybe. I think they are pretty close together. Would someone spend 60k more just for all-wheel drive? And of course handmade interior. I think it's a little quicker. Yeah, the other one had 228 or something, and we are now at 222 high. Pretty good, I'd say. And yeah, definitely feels like we have grown up. This is proper car territory now. And now that we have done a serious project, it's time to have fun again, maybe next episode. We have reached the Group B territory, and that also means we now will be able to approach Group C, prototype racing. The question is just, do we want to enter the big division, the normal Group C, or the smaller one, Group C Junior, Group C2 as it was called as well, where they had a bit smaller engines, lighter cars, and I think that would fit GIS Alpina a bit better from the overall story. And also, our V12 is in engineering for 5 more years. Our V6 is basically ready, so we could join the smaller division with the V6. I think that would be quite nice for next episode, to spend a little bit more money and to build a proper race car again, without the intention to actually sell it. Let me thank you all for watching. Thank you all of the channel members for supporting the channel, and I hope you enjoyed. See you all again very soon. Bye bye.